well-known, prominent Christian as well. And so what he would do after a very good play and so forth is he would bow in acknowledgement of his faith belief system. They called it T-bowing, or T-bowing, whatever you want to call it, because it's Tim Tebow. And apparently it caught on in school. I want you to analyze this very quick news segment about students in a hallway who are punished for T-bowing. Is the punishment by the public school a violation of their constitutional rights or not? You ready? It's going to be a very quick segment. I will play it right now. It's literally 25 seconds.
They say they were simply paying homage to Denver Broncos quarterback Tim Tebow by kneeling on bended knee and praying. Principals thought it neither funny nor inspirational when 40 kids clogged the school hallway, which led to the suspension of the ringleaders.
Okay, let's look at that one again, all right? Here we go. Closer analysis here. Watch the videotape because we got videotape. What are they doing? They're T-bowing, all right? Where are they? In the hallway. Where in the hallway? In the middle of the hallway. All right, let's get there now.
They say they were simply paying homage to Denver Broncos quarterback Tim Tebow by kneeling on bended knee and praying. Principals thought it neither funny nor inspirational when 40 kids clogged the school hallway, which led to the suspension of the ringleaders.
All right, let's get to it. The suspension of the ringleaders. All right, so anyway, everybody want to give an analysis? Was the suspension justifiable under the principal's rule, or was there a violation of First Amendment rights? How does it all kind of balance out? You want to go for an analysis? Go for it. What rights do the other students have? What is that in the Constitution? Yes. Ninth Amendment. Historically, the right to freely move, right, from one place to another. So was there a blocking of the hallway? Was it too much of a blocking of the hallway? Eventually, yeah, you did have some people walking by. Yeah, that was an interesting thing, because if you looked at the facts, I don't know what their options were. Yeah, I mean, if somebody, and this is the thing, when you were getting into the 1960s and you get local segregationist law enforcement people, they would say, oh, African Americans that are protesting and so forth, you're blocking the roads, you're blocking everything, and then arrest them right there. And then on closer practical analysis, they really weren't blocking much of anything. They just wanted to arrest them for having to, trying to exercise their right to express their point of view. Do you understand that? So it's going to come down to it. Victoria says it's a little bit too much that they did that. Were the students carrying out religious points of view? Or could the principal say, oh, it's just kind of a joke? Like, until you talk to them. You got to work it through and so forth. What if they'd stretched out like some flimsy thing from one side of the hall to the other, bong hits for Jesus, oh my gosh, here we go. And then everyone ran through it. Anyway, I don't know. You would probably participate. That would be a rather curious one there. Okay. All right, how about this one? Okay. Write this down. Graduation speeches. Graduation speeches. Okay, this is where sometimes it gets interesting in some various different schools. Can the school say anything to the student about what can or cannot be said, covered in a graduation speech? Does anybody want to give me a sense of what they think the rules are as far as, like, if a student is going to be given a speech, what can they talk about, what can't they talk about? Eva? Okay, so don't be giving any hate in the speech, otherwise we'll come down on you. Okay. Okay. Okay, fair enough. How about this one? Now, this is an easy one. Can the school tell a student, okay, now what we want you to put in this speech is a religious perspective? No. No. How about this one? Can the school tell the student, do not talk about religion at all in your school? Good, you guys are figuring that out. You're going, no, yes. Would that be a violation of the student's free exercise of religion if the school told them, don't talk about your religious perspective? Right? I mean, maybe Gabe's giving the speech and he's talking about that time where he was so religiously fulfilled because he was able to carry out an Aztec. Just kidding. No, that would be just really bizarre and so forth. Okay? So this is where school districts sometimes get a little nervous because they're like, oh no, what's going to happen? Can somebody organize a very overt religious event in conjunction with a graduation? Yes. Where would that take place? Somewhere outside. Exactly. Yeah, somewhere outside. And they do that sometimes. It looks like a convocation or some kind of a religious thing and so forth. Because that's like a very, very big, important thing. So what would happen? Is this student, I'm going to play a thing from a particular thing, is this student in violation of the Constitution when he gives his speech? I'll play the first part for you. This is not this particular student, but actually probably gives it away here a little bit. There we go. And is he in violation of the Constitution or not? I think that's faculty behind him. He sounds like Caden a little bit with an accent. Now here's an interesting thing, because this does happen sometimes. And around here, who would be a really good qualified person to help you structure in a literary, communicative sense a speech if you were going to give a speech at North Star graduation? Mrs. Rao, yeah. And so she gives tips over the years to students as far as putting their speech together and giving them tips and so forth. So can a school approve a speech in the sense that some of the things, take out any hate language and whatever and so forth? Can they disapprove a speech if it has religious content in it? No, because that would be a violation of that. And yet, you'll have some schools that are like, we're nervous about this, so we better just say no and then ask for forgiveness later. Or maybe you got a coach that's just like, whatever, we're going to do this, just because that's what we do. But just know, you might remind us, Coach, hey, maybe you should suggest one of the team members initiate this just to be straight in conjunction with what the rules are. Okay, back to the speech. Oh my gosh, he just ripped his speech. That's dramatic. He just dismissed somebody in his class. That's mean. You're interrupting him. So was that a violation of the First Amendment? Was he violating the Constitution? If the school told him to say that, would that be a violation? Yes. If they told him not to, would that be a violation? Yes. So when's about the only time you can hear prayer in school? Yes. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yes, no, maybe, somewhere. I mean, it's fascinating. And we know this already. Who in this room right now has the least constitutional rights with respect to religion? Me? Why? I'm the man. I'm the government, right? I'm the government, right? You all have your free exercise. Can I have my free exercise of religious rights and so forth? Exactly. Outside. And this is very interesting because sometimes people are like, well, can we ask teachers? And like outside of school, they can decide whether they can ask or answer or whatever. I'm like, if you really want to know, I'll answer anytime outside of school. If you want to know my political points of view, you can ask me after you graduate. After you graduate. After you graduate. After you graduate. Oh my gosh, you need to write this down. You need to write this down. Don't be packing up stuff. Don't be packing up stuff. You got some stuff to write down here first. Okay? Oh my gosh, here we go. You got to write this stuff down. I have a wonderful fact scenario for you, and you can either write it down or you can take 3 snapshot pictures of this image. Okay? You're going to watch the video here? Okay, so here we go. You guys, I'm going to break you up into your little groups and so forth. You're going to be the school board. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to start reading this. An ancient European religion, animism, referred to by some as paganism, has attracted new devotees among students attending public high school in your school district. Animism, here's some historical background, involves the worship of spirits and deities which purportedly dwell within the physical universe, including trees, stones, and the soil. As the new school year approaches, students practicing the animist religion, calling themselves pagans, made several requests of their high school principal. The principal has sought the school board, that's you guys, professional and legal advice concerning each of the requests. If the school board rules wisely, following judicial precedent and U.S. Supreme Court's Lemon Test, it may just avoid a lawsuit. How should the board rule on these? First, the school district hires somebody to dig a series of holes forming a circle in the empty plot behind the athletic field so the students can place large standing stones in them, creating a Stonehenge-type place for occasional student pagan worship services immediately before and after school. Second, students be given permission to form a pagan prayer school around the large fir tree in front of the high school once a week, half an hour before school starts. Third, students be given permission to leave campus during school for 1 period a day in order to attend pagan religious instruction being taught at a small pagan temple across the street from the high school. And we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and we'll go back over those ones. This is what we're going to do at the beginning of the class after... What do we got? We got the civics exam next time. Okay. So after you guys wipe down, and then you guys can take off. Make sure to wipe, wipe. They leave you. That's terrible.